another episode of Conversations with Cupid, and today we are going to talk about something that everybody struggles with, and that is weight, health, what to eat at the holidays, what to do for New Year's resolutions, and when we're talking about health and setting goals for ourselves. So today I have Gina Ruby, a beautiful lady. Hello. She's a certified health coach, life strategist, author, speaker, and she helps hundreds of clients all around the country lose their unwanted weight and get healthy. She's a coach. She's living life to the fullest. She's helping other people live life to the fullest. She has a book coming out soon, probably in time for Valentine's Day, which we're going to talk about then. But for now, hello, Gina.
Hey there. Hi, Marla.
Hey. So as we were talking earlier, and you have, the most inspiring story and how you got into this work. So tell everybody what you were telling me about when you were a kid and what inspired you to help people get healthy.
Sure. Well, it's interesting. Kids know what they like and what they love. And somewhere along the way in life, whether it's teachers or parents or whatever, they kind of lose sight of that dream and that passion and go with what's expected or what's going to make money. And so I just want to encourage people out there when they're watching this, if they're stuck in something they don't like, what did you like as a kid? And for me, fifth grade was a pivotal year for me. Two things happened. I had a friend who was chubby, freckles, buck teeth, and glasses.
Wow.
And that's just, yeah, I know.
Bad combo when you're a kid.
It's brutal. And I was the short, skinny kid, and I was pretty shy as a kid. And it just really hurt my heart that she would get made fun of because she was chubby. And I just said, when I grow up, I'm going to help people not be overweight. And I didn't know what that would look like or be. That was 1975. And so, but I knew in my heart of hearts, that's what I wanted to do. The second thing is I grew up in Montana. So I grew up in the beautiful Rockies and loved it. But I did a report one day on San Diego, the city somewhere in the United States. And I was like, what? It's sunny 12 months a year. There's beaches. I am so moving there when I grow up. So those two dreams, and another dream I didn't even tell you about, is I did a report on koalas. Mm-hmm. On endangered species, I picked koalas. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's my most favorite animal. And when I grow up, I'm going to go to Australia and hold a koala bear.
Oh.
So I'm happy to say I've fulfilled all those dreams. And a few of them...
you did get to hold a koala bear?
I did. It took exactly 40 years. When I turned 40, I went to Australia Christmas morning. I went to a koala park and held Diesel. His name was Diesel.
Oh.
So I always tell people I fell in love with Diesel. He broke my heart. And I held him for like 10 minutes. Truly, I felt like I was 9 years old again.
I got to hold a chimpanzee once, and it was just the most amazing feeling.
I love animals. So here's what happened. When I graduated from high school in 1981, there weren't, and I knew I wanted to do something with helping people get healthy, but there weren't, like I said before, kinesiologists or certified dietitians, registered dietitians. So what I was good at was music. Mm-hmm. And so I went to college and got my music degree. I liked it. I was good at it. It wasn't my passion, but that's okay. I didn't know what I wanted to do at 18 anyway. And then right out of college, I moved to San Diego, sight unseen. I had found an apartment, I found a job, and my brother was going on deployment, and he happened to be in San Diego, so I had a car. And I felt super blessed that I could hit the ground running. Mm-hmm. And I lived in kind of the rough part of San Diego. I didn't care. I was like, I'm in San Diego! And I loved it, and I've loved it ever since.
One of the most beautiful places. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. Everybody I know that lives down there loves it down there. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a sleepy big town, big city.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I go down quite often.
Yep.
So let's talk about, you're a health coach. We have the holidays here. People tend to, I don't know, I never had that issue with overeating at the holidays. Maybe I'm not invited to enough parties.
Well,
I'm going to one this Saturday, and I think that's my only one. But for the people For the people who are out there and battling the goodies that are out and off, I know people who work in offices. See, I don't do that. They put out stuff and you can't.
Yeah.
So, what are your tips? Why do people do that? For one thing, go off track and go nuts. And what can they do to control themselves?
Exactly. And it's kind of a twofold process. And I'll fast forward. So I said I majored in music, and after that I fell into acting and modeling for 15 years. But when I hit 39, after being married for 13 years, my husband left. No money, no assets, nothing. And that's when I started from scratch and started my dream of health coaching. And so I've been doing it for about 10 years now. And I found two things that are consistent with people who need to lose weight or just kind of make some better choices. And because I never was overweight, it's just been my passion. And what I saw was, first of all, mindset. Mindset is everything, because this runs the ship.
Yeah.
If this isn't in good order, then what goes in here could be a lot of bad choices. And so talking about mindset with self-care, self-love, really releasing any kind of unforgiveness and bitterness and shame and blame, because sometimes that's where when I have clients who are morbidly obese, there's a whole lot of stuff that they've insulated and covered up, and just food is a really easy insulation.
Yeah,
So
well, I've heard that most women who are obese or really overweight, it is always usually they were abused or maybe raped or some major issue that they are trying to insulate from. Would you find that that's usually the case?
absolutely. It goes back to childhood, and food is an addiction. It just happens to be legal. You know, heroin's illegal, crack's illegal, alcoholics get a stigma, but food, we got to eat food. We can't just deny ourselves of food or we'll die. And so that becomes a really easy addiction, and it's satisfying in the moment. It's gratifying. It has that dopamine response and the endorphins. But unfortunately, it accumulates a lot of toxic excess fat on the body, which creates, a whole other multitude of problems. And the person doesn't feel good. No. So work on mindset. I had one client, her mom, when she was little, said, "You're going to be fat and ugly your whole life."
Oh.
So, kids believe their parents. Yeah. And so she fed into that, literally. And it was transforming and beautiful in her 30s to see her realize those are false tapes. It's not true. And my mom said it for whatever reason she had, but to create a whole new life and transform the mindset, created whole different habits of what she started eating. So mindset for sure, taking care of past baggage, and then the easier part is what to do in a day, of how to eat and how to manage your calories. Just like you got to budget your money, you got to budget your calories, or you'll have an excess, and it shows up.
Well, I found for myself, just eating, well, people would call me a health nut, I guess. I'm doing my juicing every day, my smoothies packed with, maca and cacao and dates and all that stuff, and being a vegetarian and all that. But I have found that if you just don't eat anything out of a box or a can and kind of just think, what did Mother Nature make the earth for us to eat? Really, it pretty much takes care of itself, because it can drive you absolutely nuts looking at packages and ingredients, and they say that's not good for you, they say this isn't good for you. You could absolutely just go crazy because so if you just stick to what Mother Nature makes, and then you can find great recipes to make even desserts out of those things and stuff. There's like Chris Carr's got a great recipe book. A lot of people do. That's what I found that works for me when I don't buy the packaged stuff.
Yep. That is the number one best way to eat, for sure. Now, unfortunately, we live in a society where everyone wants things fast. I want things fast. So I let my clients, or give them information on my vegans and my super structured, healthy, organic eaters. There's definitely lots of options out there to go that way. But for the other huge part of our population who want something fast, I always give them healthier options of things that might be boxed, that are healthy, but they have to become a voracious label reader.
Yes.
Because something that said, Lucky Charms says cuts cholesterol or whatever. Right. It doesn't. It's all sugar.
Right.
So I say read labels. It's not just about calories and protein. It's the sodium. It's the potassium. It's the sugars. It's the fats. And really become the expert of their own health, because the food and the beverage industry, they don't care.
Well,
They
and
just,
it's all about marketing. They might say, "Oh,
mm,
whole grain or healthy or
yeah,
50% less fat, less than what?" You know, it's
uh,
all just marketing, and the power bars or they're just candy bars that just
yeah,
marketed
yeah.
to look like something good, right?
Yeah, so I educate, there's Whole Foods and Trader Joe's. There's ways to navigate through these stores, some stores better than others, to find if you have to have something packaged, really read the label because all granola bars are not created equal. In
Yes.
fact,
You
usually
know what
granola
I
bars
found?
aren't.
I wonder if you found this. I shop a lot at Whole Foods, and it can be expensive, so you got to be careful. Now, of course, I go to Ralph's with my husband every Sunday. We go do our shopping, and they do have an organic produce section. But when I go into the mainstream grocery stores, the smell is toxic. It's
Yeah,
some. I just love the smell when I walk into a Whole Foods market or even a Trader Joe's, or they have so many healthy things in there that the vibe, the smell, the energy is different. When I go into a regular supermarket, this is toxic because
yeah.
there's a like 5% of the stuff in that store is actually real food to eat,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah. Well, yeah, and you smell the essential oils at Whole
I
Foods
know,
or
I love it.
Jimbo's. Yeah, I'm like, I feel like I'm in a yoga studio because it
It's
just,
so great, and my
yeah,
husband's like, "You need to stay out of that place. You're going to go broke."
I,
It's so good.
I know. But I would say you pay now or you pay later. So
Yeah, yeah.
now with really healthy choices, then you don't have to pay for hospital bills and this and that surgery.
Yes,
Yeah. But
absolutely.
I'll give you the 5 healthy habits.
Okay.
Keeping it simple, getting out of our comfort zone and creating new, healthier habits is not always easy, but it's simple. It's not brain surgery by any means. But really, we've heard it since we were in kindergarten. Eat breakfast, a healthy breakfast. So many people skip it. Statistics show that fat accumulates quicker when people skip breakfast. And I like to remind people that orange juice and a donut is not breakfast. That you just shot your sugars way up. They're going to crash. You're going to be starving again. And you do this horrible up and down cycle that takes a toll on our insulin.
Right.
So something protein and something complex carb. So if people eat eggs, scrambled eggs and veggies is fine. If they
Or
do,
oatmeal with nuts and some
yeah,
almond milk.
still cut oats
I
and
do that every
almonds,
morning. Yeah.
golden. It's healthy. It's satiating. It gives us some nutrition.
And I
So
want to add the one thing: oatmeal without. Look at the box, because get one that just says organic oats. Not a lot of them will have added sugar or
yeah,
other gunk in there. So yeah, just look at
and instant Quaker oatmeal is not
the.
oatmeal. So that one doesn't count. Like steel cut, really yummy, nutritious oats. And that starts your metabolism engine for the day. So now you've started the engine, and then to eat the next habit is to eat every 2.5 or 3 hours. Something, whether it's almonds mid-morning or some broccoli and hummus. And then lunch, veggies and protein if people do whatever protein they choose. The afternoon is another critical time to have some kind of a healthy snack because we can tend to have the afternoon lulls.
Yes.
So really just giving a burst of fuel every couple hours up till dinner keeps our metabolism steady. Our metabolism is faster up until 5 or 6 o'clock anyway, and then it starts to wind down. And I'm all for a healthy snack around 7:30 or 8 at night, but it has to be low calorie, low sugar, low fat, just maybe something that's got some protein. Because our body, while we're sleeping, it's still working. So it needs a little bit of fuel.
And let me ask you one thing about, I see a lot of people still hooked on diet sodas.
Ugh.
And if you can just explain why it makes people gain weight, what the dangers are, because they still think, I'll see people eating, a big hamburger and then having a diet soda, or having diet soda all day long. So what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, soda in general is toxic, whether it's regular or diet. Obviously, the regular has all that sugar in it, which is going to accumulate fat. But so then people think, oh, well, I'll do diet soda. And diet soda is kind of like a oxymoron. There's no such thing as diet soda. It might not have the sugar, but those artificial sugars, especially consumed in mass quantities, actually can stimulate the appetite, which makes you want to eat more. And the sodas in general are just really toxic on the body. They work on our immune system. They leach calcium out of our bones, which the older
The
we
phosphoric
get.
acid in the carbonation, right?
Yeah, yeah. And your liver's having to process all that artificial guck.
Yeah.
So I have family members they want to be healthy, but they drink soda. I'm like, you guys are killing me. You're trying to be healthy, and I call it toxic poison. And they always say, I want another glass of toxic poison, please, just to kind of get my
Just to
goat.
get
But
you, yeah.
yeah, like, oh well.
So, what's a good way for people to get off that? Because it's terribly addicting, isn't it?
It is, especially regular because again, that sugar has that dopamine response and the brain doesn't want to let go of that feeling.
Hmm.
So I have clients who they'll drink Mountain Dew, which is
Hmm.
loaded with caffeine and loaded with sugar. And I just say start decreasing, one glass or one can a day because some
Hmm.
of them are drinking 30 to 70 ounces a
Oh my
day,
goodness.
which
So
just
yeah, if they decrease one, okay, so today I usually have five, today I'll have four and I'll have two
yeah,
glass extra glasses of water or one, some people
yeah.
might even not drink any water. And then the next day, yeah, like just wean yourself off and add more water or green
Yes,
juice or
because it's
something.
super dehydrating. It's very
Hmm.
dehydrating on our skin, our organs, and if they go cold turkey, which I'm fine if they want to, but
Yeah.
they will have a gnarly
Oh,
headache.
I can
Likely.
imagine. I can imagine.
So weaning is fine,
Okay.
and then water. Water is the other healthy habit. Water, water, water. I call it the nectar of the gods.
Yeah.
It's good for hydration. It's good for metabolism. It's good for feeling full and satiated. It's good for our organs, our muscles, our heart. Every part of our body loves water.
And
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 people,
and I do the reverse osmosis water, or if you can get alkaline water, because water from the tap it's going to have fluoride, which
yeah,
is really bad for us, and a lot of other things it picks up through the filter, through the whole system there. So
yeah. Like we grew up in the Northwest, and that's some of the yummiest water on the
I know my
planet.
mom, I'm from Seattle. Every time I go up there, she would be like, "Why are you buying water?" She just get it out of. And our neighbor has one of those alkaline systems that they
Mhm.
paid like $4,000 for, so they always give me a big tub, big thing of it, and I keep going and filling it up when I'm there, and it's fantastic. And I got
Yeah.
my mom on it now, so it's great.
Well, and the funny thing is too, well, people go, what do you drink if you want a hot beverage? Because I don't drink coffee. I love the
Mhm.
smell, but I've never acquired a taste. I
Okay.
love herbal teas, but quite honestly, I love water, and I will heat up water and just drink warm water in a cup because
Okay.
it's soothing and it's comforting, and I want a warm beverage when it's cold out at night, and I don't necessarily always want a flavor. And so the palate can start to like water.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, most people have grown up with tea, coffee, soda, alcohol, and they forget to acquire a taste for water.
Right, right. I
That's,
do love, I'm into teas. I do the herbal stuff, all these wonderful dandelion root and, the valerian to sleep. I'm really getting into it. And I go to this place nearby, a Chinese medicine place. He's got all these cool teas. So it's kind of a, cool thing to get into.
yeah, expand your horizons, get out of that
Yeah.
comfort zone,
Yeah.
which is the other thing along with mindset. People are just used to, going down this road.
Hmm.
The grooves in that road are deep.
Hmm.
And so and they're not helping them with gaining weight and on medications and no energy. Start grooving a new path and integrating, a healthy breakfast. Get your water in. Sleep is another
Hmm.
extremely healthy habit
Yeah.
because our body is, creating cells and repairing things while we're resting. So 6 to 8 hours of sleep at night, which it's free and it's quite honestly my favorite healthy habit. I love sleep.
I love it. Oh, one thing I want to mention, talking about doing something new. So I have a new project. I started making my own kombucha.
Ooh,
And kombucha, for anybody who doesn't know, it's you get this SCOBY, which is it's not a mushroom, but it's a what do you call it?
I forget.
It's the
I
it's
can buy it at the booth.
the well, anyway, it ferments it. It's a bacteria. Hello.
Okay.
It's a bacteria,
Look
so
at it.
it's yeah, my brain. I need a cup of coffee. It is a fermented tea that kind of gets a little fizzy, and you could see the bottled kombucha at places like Whole Foods or different places. It's delicious, and it's so healthy for you, and it's a probiotic. And so got a SCOBY, and I learned how to do it, and I've been making it in my kitchen. And my husband was like, "Oh no, another project." I remember when you tried to make those vegan cupcakes and blew up the blender. I don't think you should be doing it. And I said, no, 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 it's okay. I think I got it. And it's been turning out great. So kombucha is something that people can look into. It's really healthy.
Yeah, and being healthy is actually exciting
It's
and fun.
fun. It's
People think
fun.
it's boring and you're limited. And I'm like, my life is one of the most exciting lives I know. I'm 51 years old. I climbed to the top of Half Dome,
Hmm.
which have you
Wow.
seen Half Dome in
I've heard,
Yosemite?
no,
It's
I've
a
heard about it.
crazy granite rock
Wow.
where it's a 12-hour hike and
Hmm.
I go from zero elevation to 8,000. I mean, it's nuts. But when you're healthy and you're thriving and there's new things to tackle and to do, it makes it fun. I
It
don't want
does.
to be 300 pounds and sitting at home and miserable and depressed.
And
And
I'm a
those are the people I want
matchmaker,
to help.
so people who want to find a mate, who want to find somebody, you've got to be healthy so that you can go out and do things with your partner and
Yep.
live a long life and be healthy and attract somebody and feel good in your body and sexual and all of that.
Yeah, and confidence when my clients, whether they lose 30 pounds or 130 pounds, when they get to their healthy goal weight, their confidence increases, their energy increases. And I think when I wrote to you, many times they feel like dating again. They
Mm-hmm.
feel like going after that job promotion that before they thought they were just inadequate and I'm horrible and blah, 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 all those bad tapes playing in their head. And sometimes they also want to go try something athletic, whether it's a 5K or a half marathon or a marathon. So there's a whole new world out there when people get healthy mentally,
Mm-hmm.
physically, spiritually, emotionally, and it's just waiting for them to grab hold to.
All right, so anybody who wants to get healthy, you've got to contact Gina. Her info
Yes.
is up on the screen, and you can work with her by Skype. You can work with her by phone. You can work with her in person. She works with people all over the world.
Yep.
So let's talk about, I want to talk about one more thing before we go, and that is New Year's resolutions, because we're coming up on another New Year's, and people always say, okay, this is the year I'm going to lose, 10 pounds, 20, 50. And then, as I was telling you, when I was a waitress, I remember working in the restaurant business, and people in January, no one was ordering desserts. About mid-February, late February, it was on again. Yeah, I'll have that carrot cake or that. They just totally forgot about it. And even the gyms are packed in January, and then it tapers off. So, what
Yeah.
can people do to keep motivated and maybe not even make those big goals, because it's just you're setting ourselves up for defeat?
Well, there's kind of a 3-step process. First of all, for people go, I'm going to lose weight. A lot of people say it, and then they don't have any attachment to why. And so that enthusiasm, it takes work and different habits to lose weight. So when they don't know why they want to lose it, they're not going to do the work and the new healthy habits to do it. So you got to know your why. Why do I want to lose 30 pounds? Well, I want to have more energy. I want to prevent diabetes because it's in my family. I want to add quality and quantity years to my life, or I want to fit in my size 4s again. I'm all for, fitting back into the wardrobe in your closet.
Yes.
So once they have a why, that has to go with those New Year's goals. The second part is a plan. Okay, I want to lose it, but what am I really going to do to lose it? Am I going to cut out the 4 scoops of ice cream every night? Am I going to perhaps start working out, whether it's a gym membership or just walking 20 minutes on my lunch hour?
Mm-hmm.
And then the third, I call the super glue to make it all work, is having accountability.
Mm-hmm.
So have a health coach, have a friend who you're like super committed to sticking to this plan for the next 6 months, however time it takes to lose those pounds. And then have that accountability afterwards. So once you've reached your goal, and that can work with everything, whether I want to make more money, I want to lose weight, I want to find a soulmate, knowing your why, having a plan, and then having accountability is going to get you, I promise, it's going to get that person to their goal.
I will say, if you really, really are just want to get back in shape or lose weight, get like Gina, because during menopause, and I had an office job, and things had switched, getting a little older, I had gained about 15 pounds. It slowly crept up, and I was out of my mind. My pants weren't fitting. My husband said, honey, I'll go buy you some new pants. Let's go buy. I said, there's no way I'm buying a bigger pair of pants. I'm not just gonna, oh, okay, well, I'm this age and it's just, it's okay now that I'm a bigger size. No, I'm getting back into those somehow, some way. And I met a woman who was a health coach with Isogenics, and she got me on it, and she'd call me every day, and I'd even call her crying, I'm hungry. And I'd be standing in the gym parking lot, and she's like, okay, let's get through this. And we did, and I lost it and kept it off. So just having that person like you to call and to keep you on track and to say, okay, what's going on, it makes all the difference, because trying to do it alone, your mind will say, nah, just go have that cookie or that ice cream, or don't go to the gym or whatever. So
the brain wants to pull you back. No,
it does, that ego. No, come on. It's
I
okay
know.
to have that extra weight on there.
Yep, and that program is great. The one I use with my clients is MetaFast. So they are prepackaged meals, but again, they're nutritionally balanced, healthy meals. And I would say it's a jump start to get to, okay,
Yes.
now the place where I have the weight off, and now I can maintain this with other healthy options from the grocery store. So that jump start, people tell me all the time, oh, I'm just going to exercise more and I can do it. Well, exercise is only 20% of it. 80% is what goes in our mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And if they could do it now, they would have already done it. So I'm like, just give it 30 days.
Yeah.
You know, if you work with me or work with whoever, give yourself that 30-day goal. And that helps the brain kind of piecemeal it into it's more manageable than, oh, it's going to take me 3 months to lose 30 pounds or whatever. So 30 days. And then I'll give you, your listeners, a tool for when they're in the midst of that temptation. Like, I really want to fit in my size 4s, but oh, the chocolate fountain at the wedding looks so good.
Yeah.
What they can do is, I call it stop, challenge, and choose. So as they're headed toward that fountain, stop and take some deep breaths, get that oxygen going to their brain, stop the momentum, and then challenge themselves, have a conversation. Is that really going to make me feel better when I'm done? Am I going to love that I just caved and now I'm farther away from my goal?
Yeah.
And then make a conscious choice. Because so much of what we do is autopilot. We just go eat the chocolate-covered marshmallow and then feel guilty.
And it's only like 5 minutes. You eat it of pleasure, and then you just hate yourself for days.
Hours.
Yeah. So I always think of that. I say, is that 5 minutes worth, not getting into my pants or feeling crappy or lethargic or yucky? So that's what I would do too.
And when we have that conversation with the self that wants to get healthier, with the self that's like, no, I want it now. Usually the one that says, no, we don't need that. It really is a weird, you got your 2 people in one body.
Yeah, and especially me, I'm a Gemini, so I'm really 2 people.
Many people. It's a party in there, Marla.
Woo!
That
was crazy.
So having that just like a 60-second conversation with yourself, it helps you go, okay, no, I don't want that. And then you just go find someone to talk to. You find something, if you're going to say no to one thing, you got to say yes to something else to get you away from there. So have a conversation, go eat some celery and some dip or whatever. Make a better choice.
All right.
And just do that over and over and over.
Gina, thank you so much for all your tips and insight. You're amazing. And what can I say? Everybody
They can find me everywhere. They can find me on Facebook. It's just Gina Ruby. LinkedIn, Twitter. Definitely want to stay connected and help be their best version of them.
We'll connect you up.
Yay!